Hello friends, this is Olga, mature medical student from Ukraine, and today I have some news from Ukrainian or Russian, better to say Russian-Ukrainian war. And maybe you already heard about it, that the Ukrainian army crossed the border of Russia and they starting their an operation. It is the eastern northern border, Legion Freedom to Russia or Freedom of Russia, but it is close basically. And what is the difference? That this legion is native Russian, the Russian citizens. The legion is not very numerous. They had not much heavy weapons, and there was also restrictions from the Western world, from United States. I think some countries of Europe and also Great Britain, they they canceled these restrictions. Do not have any operations. I mean, for Ukrainians, for Ukrainian army on the territory of Russia. But now these restrictions, they were cancelled also for Ukrainian army, at least for the territories near to the Ukrainian border. And that's why I think that Ukrainian army used that chance finally to bring some part of the war to the Russian territory. And as I understood that both sides is in any war, they try to place the war exactly on not on the own territory, but place the war to the territory of opponents. So far we have that situation that Russian army crossed the Ukrainian border, and all these times all events happens in Ukrainian border. But now we only today we have this opposite situation. I mean, I think that this operation, of course, maybe our forces, they will not take as much territories as Russian army did, but anyway, it at least something. So their citizens of Russia, they also will see the war, will feel how we feel, and it may also influence somehow on the inner situation in Russia, and will destabilize and will shook the society inside of Russia, and they will be not such a friendly and indifferent and relaxed that the war somewhere, but they have no any attitude, so it's good. And there was also the things that I have read about this war, that in Ukraine we are laughing from the Chechen regiments because they usually shooting the small videos for TikTok where they showing how they brave are, how they cool warriors are, but in reality they doing is like filming. So they, for example, capturing the empty building or shooting into the bushes. They know there is no one inside, so they just make it for the picture, but they not make a real fights. And their regiment has the name Ahmat, and there is also the name for the tea brand in Ukraine in the same. So it's like Ahmat. So in Ukrainian, and pro-Putin's soldiers often called as Ahmat Tea regiment, and there's a lot of jokes about what they're doing. And also now I just read the news that this regiment of Ahmat, they had to protect the border with Ukraine on that place where Ukraine crossed actually this border, so they were not able to stop Ukrainians, and they wrote after that we couldn't stop Ukrainian army because they just passed by. And it was very funny, I mean, to read like this, the news like this, you know. And now the Ukrainian army, they took, I think, the city, or better to say the town near Ukrainian border called Sudzha. And I think it's very important because there are some gas spreading station, I would say, and that's spreading the gas to Europe from Russia. So it's very important point actually. And also they, as I understand, they now continue moving inside into the Russia, in this Kursk region. And I hope that they will reach all their goals they planned, the generals of Ukrainian army planned, because we cannot discuss much this operation, and especially give an information in the open space, which is the YouTube is, until this operation will be not over. But yeah, it's the I think this war is created a lot of jokes were not possible before. And of course, war is terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, and I would never say that the war is something positive. Of course, it's only negative, but even in these negative conditions, we have some kind of jokes and situations that they are funny. So, like with these Chechen regiments, I mean, in Russia, Russians, they afraid of Chechens because they think that they are cruel, they are very radical, and so on. Or maybe it's just that Putin's propaganda created such a picture of Chechen people because they are Muslims, and it's very comfortable to put this ticket on them that they are radical and dangerous and so on. But anyway, this war showing us that sometimes these people can be scared only for Russians, but not for Ukrainians. Also, in this slide, I wanted to share with you, and I always had not much time to do that, another video about the Russian bots that try to shook up the society inside of Ukraine. So they usually pretend that they are Ukrainians, and they try to use the online translators for Russian Ukrainian, and they translating and copying this phrase from Russian to Ukrainian, and they copying this Ukrainian phrase, and they send it in different messengers, in different groups like WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber, and other maybe like Quora or Reddit, or where a lot of people can read it. But the funny thing that in Ukrainian and in Russian, the words, they're completely different, and the translation is completely bullshit, and it's very often it's very funny to read such a translated messages from Russians, and one of the famous, I would say, translation, if I will translate it from Ukrainian to English, it's in Ukraine everything is bad, there is no urina for this flour. I mean flour, to make the bread, this powder. Maybe I'm not pronounce it correctly in the English, but anyway, you understand. I have no more urina for this floor, and it's so funny, and also they mix sometimes the word peace and the world, because in Ukrainian and Russian this almost the same word but meaning is different. So they saying, I don't want, stop the war, stop the war. So Putin now is run out of weapons and they want to stop the war to fix the territories they captured at least. So a lot of these Russian bots, they also may write like, I'm for peace in these messengers, but yeah, they translate it in Ukrainian and it sounds like I'm for the world, and this kind of messages, people are laughing, when you're reading this kind of things, and you understand that Russians, they don't get that they're just writing bullshit. Yes, it happens, but maybe in other video I will collect all these pearls, I would say, and will create some kind of different, because now it's just what I remembered from my mind. Yes, the situation in the Suji, in that Kursk region and nearest villages, where unexpectedly the military action started, is that people are leaving their houses, they taking the buses, and there are also some organized buses, so they coming to some other places of Moscow to live there temporary. And suddenly these people, they understood that on Russian television they heard that everything in Russia is fine, but actually it's a lie, it's not fine. And they started to tell that it's a lie, the Russian television is live to us, it's not fine. And also that fact that Bloomberg wrote that this first time from the Second World War that the army of different countries crossed the Russian border. I mean, in the Second World War, Ukraine and Russia was together in one country, so I don't know if this comparison could be taken in consideration. And so on this point, and I think now that I will finish my video, I'm very interested what are you thinking about all this situation. Especially for me is interesting if someone from some Germanic countries, because a lot of Ukrainian refugees, for example in Germany, they met the pacifistic, so peaceful mood in people. And it's understandable why, because of Second World War. But anyway, in nowadays, these kind of moods, they seems like not very adequate to situation. And in the war, each country, I think in Europe, because it's close to us, to Ukraine, to Russia, they have to choose the side, Ukraine or Russia, and just to close the eyes and say like, I'm for peace, I don't want to know about it, I want you to be friends, shook your hands and let's forgive, everything. It's not works like that, because there is aggressor, there is victim, and this aggressor won't stop if you will say this kind of expressions. It should be some logical end, logical over of these situations. If the victim will be totally depressed, or the aggressor would be punished. So and yeah, for this reason, for me it's interesting the opinion if someone from the Germany or other European countries, more like neutral or pacifistic, will listen this video, and what are you thinking about it, and from other countries too. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.